And this liberation is both practical and radical. It's practical, you know the story I like to tell of the army officer who was studying meditation for stress reduction in his army unit. It happens now, you know, it's gone beyond these weird Buddhist places. Mainstream entry. And so there he was in line at the grocery store with all these groceries, in a hurry, always in a hurry, trying to get somewhere, and very irritable. And then a woman in line in front of him, he noticed, had just one item, and she wouldn't get in the express line. She was waiting in his line. Why didn't she go in the line that was meant for people like her? You know how it is. And then she got up to the cash register. She was carrying a baby, and she handed the baby to the cashier. And they were cooing over it, you know, coochie coo, nice baby. Guy was just going ballistic. Hurry up, I'm in a hurry, you're in the wrong line, don't you see there are all these people, and so forth. But because he'd begun to study mindfulness, he felt how much tension he was making. And he took some breaths. And he just let all that frustration and anger soften a bit. And then he looked for a moment, he saw it was actually kind of a cute baby. So he gets to the cash register. He'd released all of that tension, or some of it. And he said, you know, that was a really cute kid that she was carrying, that woman before me. And the cashier said, oh, did you like him? He's my son. You see, my husband was in the Air Force, but he was killed in a plane crash this last year. So I've had to come to work, and my mother takes care of our baby, but she brings him in once or twice a day so I can see him. We have so many stories about who's doing what and how they're supposed to be. Liberation is so immediate. There we are, and then we can let go. It's also quite radical. A poem from Wendell Berry called The Mad Farmers Manifesto, which he is. Love the quick profit, the annual raise, the vacation with pay. Want more of everything ready-made. Be afraid to know your neighbors and to die. And you will have a window in your head. Not even your future will be a mystery anymore. Your mind will be punched in a card and shut away in a little drawer. When they want you to buy something, they will call you. When they want you to die for profit, they will let you know. So, my friends, every day do something that won't compute. Love the world. Work for nothing. Take all that you have and offer some to the poor. Love someone who doesn't deserve it. Ask questions that have no answers. Invest in the millennium. Plant sequoias. Say that your main crop is the forest that you will not live to harvest. Put your faith in the 2 inches of soil that build under the trees every 1,000 years. To become mindful is to become free, to have the capacity to step out of the rat race, the speed, the complexity, and be who we are, be true to our hearts. And there comes a great balance and ease with that. In any moment, we stop the war, we stop the conflict, we come back to be as the Buddha sits, as the Buddha walks, as the Buddha speaks, where we are, just present and alive. So simple to be with things as they are. A silly poem for you. Once upon a time, this is from Bob Munson. Once upon a time, before time was invented, there was no daytime or nighttime. And yesterday, today, and tomorrow weren't here yet. There were no watches, clocks, sundials, no hours, minutes, days, seconds, years. There was no fast or slow. And everything just was the way it was when it was that way. And things happened in no time. They just happened when they did. Flowers bloomed when they did. Morning and evening just came and went. Once upon that time, there lived a frog who lived in no time. He wasn't fast or slow. When he jumped, and when he didn't, he didn't. He got to where he was going in no time, because in no time, it took no time to get anywhere. And anywhere was everywhere. So he was really where he wanted to be all the time. And he was always on time wherever he went. He got where he was going before he left. He didn't have to rush or hurry, because in no time he could never be late. Wouldn't that be fine to live in no time and be where you are all the time? It's really natural to us. This is not foreign. It's as near to us as our own breath, as near to us as our own body. And when we practice mindfulness, we come alive. Our bodies come alive, our senses, our food tastes different because we actually taste it. The people around us, their eyes, their spirits are alive for us. Our words become more alive. The clouds and the earthworms, as Mad Bear said. Our silence is more alive. We're present when we come. We're present when we go. We're aware for birth, and we're aware of death, of joys and sorrows. We enter that which is timeless. What a gift. Even a few moments a day is great. Practice is not to make perfect, but to remember that freedom is possible where we are, that our heart can open in this very life, in this very moment. The body in the body, the feelings in the feeling, the thoughts in the thought. You discover the body lives its own life. The feelings feel themselves. The thoughts think themselves. So we say it in meditation. It's really just a little reminder, reminding meditation. We feel the breath, and the mind quiets and the heart opens. And things start to open up. All the things that come and go. My teacher, Nisargadatta, used to talk about it this way. He said, usually we only see a small distance, bound by our desires for what we like, our ambitions, and our fears and dislikes of what's wrong with this world. We create a net that entangles us, confines and limits our consciousness. This is not who we are. To free ourselves, it is necessary to look beyond the net. And yet it is simple, for the net is full of holes. Any moment we look, any moment we bring mindfulness to, there's space, there's openness. We're not entangled and identified. And there's a tremendous joy in discovering this and remembering this. Mindfulness is kind of like Sabbath. 6 days you work and then you get a day off. Actually, in the Old Testament, as it was written, not only was there a Sabbath every seventh day where you got to rest and just appreciate life and not have to do stuff, but every seventh year was a fallow year where things were not planned, and you got a whole year, a sabbatical, right? A year off. Doesn't that sound fine? And every seventh year, in the grand cycle, all property was returned to its original owners. All debts were forgiven. It was like Monopoly. Okay, we did it for 49 years, and now we go back to square one again. Isn't that great? Mindfulness is like that. Go directly to go. Do not go to jail. No, let's go directly to jail. Do not pass go. It's the opposite. Get out of jail free card is what it is. There's an ease. There's a graciousness when we remember this mindfulness or heartfulness, where we can bow to this life as it is, with its joys and its sorrows. And we somehow sense the small sense of self, the body of fear that we talk about, the ambitions and confusions. And remember, that's not really what it's about. It's not who we are. Like Zen Master Suzuki Roshi, when he was dying of cancer, called everyone together. If when I die, if I suffer, that's all right, you know. That's just suffering, Buddha. No confusion in it. Maybe everyone will suffer for the physical or spiritual agony. If when I die, if I suffer, that's all right, you know. That's just suffering, Buddha. Moon Buddha, Sun Buddha, happy Buddha, sad Buddha. The way things are is what we are given to awaken to. Through mindfulness, we can bow to what is and be free.